So let's start the class by solving simple question. Okay. So this is a simple question. We have an inductor whose inductance is given, a capacitor whose capacitance is given, and a resistor. They are connected in series across a source of EMF. This is the voltage, instantaneous voltage. Here this V should have been, ideally this V should have been a small v, but it's fine. Little mistakes can be ignored. Find impedance of the circuit and energy dissipated in the circuit in 20 minutes. So go ahead and solve this question. Okay, take 3-4 minutes and solve this question. So I'm solving this question now. So as you can clearly see from reading this question, it is an LCR circuit because there is a resistor, there is a capacitor, there is an inductor. So let me draw an LCR circuit. Now in LCR circuit, it doesn't matter which part you draw first. Like today I draw LCR, but before this I used to draw RCL. It doesn't matter. And then you have this AC source like this. Okay, this AC source, the instantaneous voltage is given to be 10 sine 100 pi t. 100 pi t. It's very clear that this 100 pi is the omega. Okay, this 100 pi is the omega. So that is very clear, because whatever is the coefficient of t, that is your omega. Now, even though L and C are given, but you know it that L and C are not never to be used directly. Okay, we don't use L and C directly. We always find XL and XC. XL is called inductive reactance, XC is called capacitive reactance. XL is omega into L and XC is 1 by omega into C. Now omega is 100 pi and L inductance, you see inductance 2 by pi Henry. So this comes out to be how much? 200 ohm. Okay, so let me get this part a little below. So this way we have found our XL. Now let's find this XC. It is 1 by omega C. So omega is 100 pi. Why is this color changed? Okay, I need to choose this color. Fine. Omega is 100 pi and capacitance is given to be 100 by pi, but that is microfarad. Okay, microfarad. So in case of farad, you have to multiply it with 10 to the power minus 6. So it is basically 100 ohm. Yeah, it is 100 ohm because it goes, see, pi got cancelled. It goes on top, it becomes 10 to the power 6, and then here we have 10 to the power 4. So finally you will be left with 10 to the power 2, which is nothing but 100 pi. So this one, let me delete these things because yeah, I don't want to write this. I want to write the values. The value of the resistance are 75 ohm. So let me write 75. The value of capacitance, whatever capacitance is there, we don't want. We want XC. XC we got as 100 pi. So 100, sorry, not 100 pi, man, 100 ohm. You see, and XL we got as 200 ohm. Now, obviously, the impedance of the circuit, because it's an LCR circuit, you know, for LCR circuit, impedance is root over R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So R is 75 plus XL minus XC is 100. 200 minus 100. So it's obviously 100. Okay. Now here I want to take maximum common. What is the maximum common I can take? I can take 25 common. So 25 square I have taken common. Obviously, when it will come out of the root, the square will disappear. And 25 into 3 is 75. So this will be 3 square plus 25 into 4 is 100. So this will be 4 square. Now it is a world famous Pythagorean triangle. 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5
Sir.
square. So yeah. Yes.
Sir,
What
sir,
happened?
nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. So we got impedance as this. This is one of the answer. So question was find impedance of the circuit. We did that. Now find energy dissipated in the circuit in 20 minutes. Can you please do this now? Do you know yesterday I taught power delivered by AC source and power consumed by the circuit elements? Both have a different formula, but both eventually come out to be same. Okay. Here the current, let me write the current as capital I. Okay. So how to find energy dissipated in the circuit in 20 minutes? Simple. Energy, there are two ways to find it. One is complicated way, another one is easier way. One is that you find power delivered by AC source. Power delivered by AC source is VI cos phi. So capital V means this RMS. By the way, this 10 is not capital V. This is peak value. Whatever is written over here, that is peak. If you want to find RMS, then you'll have to divide it by √2. So basically, capital V will be 10 by √2. And then you have to find this current. This is RMS current. RMS current will be RMS voltage by impedance. Impedance you have already found. RMS voltage is not 10. It is 10 by √2 because this 10 is peak voltage. And divided by impedance, okay, you will get the current. Okay. So this is the current. Current is voltage by impedance. RMS voltage by impedance. So you will be able to get this. So put the value of I here. And then for cos phi, you know, phi is the phase angle. So for that, if you want to use formula, you can say tan phi is XL minus XC. XL minus XC by R. Now XL is 200, XC is 100, and R is 75. So that way you will get tan phi, but you are interested in cos phi. So if you know tan phi, you can get cos phi also. You can get sin phi also. So from there you get cos phi. Put these values V I cos phi. It will give you what? It will give you power delivered by this AC source. Now where is this power consumed? Well, as I said yesterday, no power is consumed by this inductor. No power is consumed by the capacitor. Power is only consumed in the resistor. So what is power consumed in the resistor? It is I square into R, where this I is the RMS current. Okay. Okay. And RMS current we have already found. So this will be the power consumed in the resistor. And when you do this calculation, you will actually find that power consumed in the resistor is same as power delivered by AC source. So you can find power in the circuit in two ways. Obviously, everybody finds this way to be easier because first of all, this formula we are very familiar with. Even in DC circuit, we used to use this formula, I square into R. Okay. Now here you have to find energy dissipated in 20 minutes. Now, no problem. When you find power, it means energy dissipated in 1 second, because power is what? Power is energy consumed in 1 second. So once you get energy consumed or energy dissipated in 1 second, you multiply that with 20 minutes. Now, obviously 20 minutes means how many seconds? 20 into 60 seconds. So you multiply that with, you know, and you will get energy dissipated in the circuit in 20 minutes. So this is actually pretty simple. And you know, in exams, particularly nowadays in JEE main exams, these simple questions are asked, not difficult questions. The problem is that students are not able to solve simple questions. In a JEE main exam, out of 25 questions or maybe 30 questions, nobody knows how many questions will be asked. Last year 25 questions were asked. Before that there used to be 30 questions. So whatever, out of let's say 30 questions, 23 to 24 questions are genuinely very easy. Very easy. Like this type of question. You can't call them tough questions. They are very easy questions. Only 5-6 questions are a little tough. Okay. So nowadays, whenever a student, an average student, unless and until he is a very good topper, I mean, if he's an absolute topper, then I'll suggest him to solve all tough questions. But in general, for an average student or even above average student, I only say solve easy questions, solve easy questions, solve easy questions, ignore tough questions, ignore really, because that is what the exams have become these days. These exams have become easy exams. Competition is tough because there are so many people preparing for the same exam and they are all working very hard like you guys. Competition is tough, but paper is easy. Okay, so let me come back to this without wasting any time. We have already solved this, but now let me formally do this. Fine. So what will be current in the circuit? What is the RMS volts? RMS voltage, which voltage? Of course, source voltage. It is 10 by root 2 volts. Okay, because this 10 is peak. Now RMS current will be RMS voltage by impedance. So 10 by root 2 by impedance we found just now. Okay, so 2 by, I'm cancelling by 5, so 2 by this is 25 root 2 ampere. This is the RMS current. Now power dissipated in resistor in AC circuit, power is dissipated only in resistor. Power is dissipated only in resistor. So here power dissipated will be how much? It will be I square into R. Now the I we have calculated. See, this is the I. So 2 by 25 root 2 square. And what was the resistance of the circuit? It was 75 ohm. So into 75, this will be in watt. Okay, because this is power. So that is 4 by 25 into 25 into 2 into 75 joule per second. Watt can be written as joule per second also. So you can cancel this with this. So you get, and this with this. So you get what? You get 6 by 25 joule per second. Am I correct? Or is there any mistake? It seems to be correct. So this is power dissipated, and that's why we have per second. Now energy dissipated in 20 minutes. Energy dissipated in 20 minutes will be 6 by 25. This is energy dissipated in 1 second into 20 into 60. These many joules, because 20 into 60 are the number of seconds. So that's it. Cancel with the 5. So you have 4 and you have 12. 12, fine. Yeah, 4 and 12. 12 4s are 48. So 48 into 6. 8 6 are 54 and 294 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 294. So if I'm not wrong, then the answer is 294 joule. This is the answer. Any problem? Is there any mistake I did? I might have. If I had done any mistake, then you correct it yourself. Okay. Okay, so actually this was 288 joules. Now let me give you another question. So this is the next question. Okay, please read it. What is saying? See which kind of, see when a student looks at this question, he feels that it is very tough. Well, it's actually not at all tough. When you look at this circuit, it looks like, oh my God, what a complicated circuit it is. But seriously, this circuit is not at all complicated because this is simply an LCR circuit. This is simply an LCR circuit like this. You see, LCR. That's all we have, LCR. What about these? These are simply voltmeters. These are voltmeters connected to find the voltages. Voltages means potential difference. So this voltmeter measures, according to the question, its reading is 400 volt. So 400 volt is the potential difference between these 2 points. Okay, that means RMS potential difference, of course. See these. One more thing I would like to tell you, even though it is not of much importance, but one thing I'd like to tell you is that the ammeter and voltmeter for AC circuit is very different from the DC circuit. Now, whatever I'm saying, it is frankly not of much use when it comes to problem solving. When it comes to problem solving, all you have to know is that voltmeter measures potential difference and ammeter measures current. How do they measure it? Frankly, doesn't matter to us. But you should know one thing, that AC ammeter and AC voltmeter, their functioning, their working is different from what we have already studied. You might have noticed in DC circuit, we have already studied that a galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter, a galvanometer can be converted into a voltmeter and all those things, you know, the shunt resistance and all those things. But that was fine for DC circuit, not for AC. For AC, the things are very different. Now, what is there inside this ammeter? What is there inside this voltmeter? We are not going to study because that's not part of the syllabus. Only thing you should know is that these devices measure RMS values. They never measure instantaneous values. They measure RMS values. And how do they measure it? Well, they use the heating effect into calculation. Okay. Actually, in H.C. Verma book, in H.C. Verma book, in this AC chapter, the working of ammeter and voltmeter is also shown. So if you are interested, you can read that. Now, with that said, let's come back to this question. So this voltmeter is measuring 400 volt potential difference. What is that 400 volt? It is RMS voltage. It's not written anywhere. It's not written anywhere that these are RMS voltages, but they are. So what is the potential difference across this? It is 400 volt. What is the potential difference across this? It is measured by this voltage, and that also is 400 in this case. Now question is, what will be the reading of this voltmeter? That means what will be the potential difference across this resistor? And what will be the reading of this ammeter? That means what will be the current through this? Okay. So please solve it. I have already done all the explanation. You don't have to do much. It's a very easy question. Seriously. So solve it. So let me show it to you. It's actually, you know, the data is given in such a beautiful way that this circuit is in resonance. This LCR circuit is in resonance. Because if I draw this, okay, let me draw this circuit right over here. I will not draw these voltmeters because they are kind of, you know, making it look like a complicated circuit. It is not a complicated circuit, but those voltmeters are making the circuit look complicated. So I will not draw them. All I will say is this resistance is 50 ohm. This voltage is 100 volts, comma 50 hertz. This is the source voltage. Okay. The value of inductance is not given. The value of capacitance is not given. Now, what is given is that the voltage across inductor is given, this 400 volt, and the voltage across capacitor is given. that is also 400 volt, and voltage across resistor you have to actually find, because you have to find the reading of this voltmeter. Now what will this voltmeter measure? It will measure the voltage across resistor, that means VR. And of course this is the current, who will measure this ammeter, and that also we have to find. So here, since VC and VL both are equal, comma, the circuit is in resonance. The LCR circuit is in resonance. Yeah. So what will be the impedance? Well, the impedance in general is root over R square plus XL minus XC ka whole square. But here XL and XC are equal, because otherwise, see, if XL and XC are equal only, then VC and VL will be equal. Na? So that means impedance is only R. This is because XL and XC are equal. So that means impedance is simply this R, which is 50 ohm. Okay. So what will be the current? The current is voltage upon impedance, this source voltage upon impedance. So that is 100 volt upon 50 ohm. That means 2 ampere. So we know this current. Now what will be voltage across resistor? Voltage across resistor is I into R. I we have already measured 2 ampere, and R is 50 ohms. So that is 100 volt. In fact, you can also see it like this, that whatever is the potential difference across this, all of that potential difference will go here, because these two are canceling out each other if you draw the phasor diagram. Here I'm not drawing the phasor diagram, but of course you can. Clear? Okay. Now I'll give you the same question once more. Just a moment. Wait a little bit. Yeah. I will give you the same question once more with a very slight difference. So I'm basically copying that diagram and I want to paste it. You see the same data, but I'll change the data. That's all I want to do. So I will change this data and this data. Oh my God, what happened? Yeah. Okay, I will write this voltage to be, let's say 350 volt, and this one is 300 volts. Okay, so this is a new question. This is all given, every reading is given. Find, now you have to find many things. First thing is find reading of ammeter voltmeter, reading of ammeter and voltmeter. That's first part. Second part, find phase difference between current and voltage. Third is power delivered by AC source. Just a second. Can we or not? Yeah, why not? We can find, yeah, power delivered by AC source. And fourth is power dissipated in circuit. Okay, you can start solving. Fifth is power factor. Sixth is wattless current. So all these things you have to find. Okay. So let's start solving. The reading of this voltmeter is 350 volt. The reading of this voltmeter is 300 volt. Okay. I hope I'm correct in a sense that. Yeah, fine. Yes. No problem. We can solve it. Do it. So let me start solving this question. Maybe some more data is required. Maybe the value of current is required. I don't know that much at this moment. So I will start solving this question. Okay. Obviously, the value of L and C as of now, it's not given. And hopefully we will be able to solve without those values. So let me draw that diagram. We have this resistor, this inductor, this capacitor connected to an AC source. The value of resistance is given to be 50 ohm.
Sir, yes, sir, we can solve, sir.
Yeah. The value of XL and XC are not given. Not given. Okay. Now, the value of VL is given as 350 volts. Okay. Let me write in a smaller font. VL is 350 volts and VC, that is 300 volts. So these two voltages are given. This VR is not given. In fact, this is one of the things which we want to find. And of course, the value of current is also not given. However, this voltage is given. This is 100 volt, 50 hertz. Okay, this is 350. I hope it is readable. If not, let me delete this and write it with a slightly better handwriting. Okay, so first thing we will do is, we know that the V square, this V square is this square plus this minus this whole square. But here I'm not writing square, I have taken under root. So this V is equal to, or I can use the square term. Okay, this V square is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. So this V is 100 volt. So 100 square is equal to VR square plus 350 minus 300 whole square. So from here we get VR as, or VR square as 100 square minus 50 square. Isn't that? So from here we can get very quickly the value of VR. The value of VR will be, here I'll take 50 common, root over. Now I'm under rooting it. 2 square minus 1 square. Is that clear? So this is 50 root 3 volts. So instantly we are able to find the value of VR. So one of the value we are able to find. Now the moment we find the value of VR, we can find the value of I also, because now use the fact, use VR is equal to I into R. I mean, this voltage is equal to this current into this resistance, isn't it? Isn't it? So VR is, we have already found VR 50 root 3 volts. I we want to find, and R is given to be 50 ohm. You see? So it was not so difficult. Unnecessarily we were panicking whether the value is given enough or not. Unnecessary panic was there. So we have been able to find the value of current also. Done. So we have been able to find I, we have been able to find. So these two things are done. Now what? Now what else we have to find? Now let's go back and let's see. So find reading of ammeter, and this ammeter reading we have found √3 ampere. The reading of this voltmeter we found 50 √3 volts. Find phase difference between this current and this voltage. Sorry, not this voltage, sorry, this voltage. Okay, in fact, the current and this voltage will be in the same phase because this, so here I have to be a little more clear in this question. I should have been a little more clear. I should not have written find phase difference between I and V. I should have written find phase difference between I and V source. So yeah, seriously. So find phase difference between I and V source, because you know this is written as V. So when somebody reads this question, he will think that probably this V he is talking about. So if, and by the way, if you read this V as this voltage, then can you tell me what will be the answer of second part? The answer will be 0 in that case, because this V is nothing but the voltage across resistor, and I hope we all know that voltage across resistor and current through resistor are in same phase. You know, we draw that phasor diagram so many times. Okay, so that is why I changed this question more. Now there is no chance of confusion. So now it's time to draw the phasor diagram. Okay, now it's time to draw phasor diagram. So let's draw phasor diagram. Now, when we draw phasor diagram, the first phasor we draw is always the current phasor. So this is the first phasor. Then we draw a VR phasor, or should I? Yeah, this is the one. I don't have to copy this because I can always see here. So then we draw this VR phasor. VR phasor is in the same direction as V phasor. So here we draw the VR phasor. Okay, this is VR phasor. Then we draw VL phasor and VC phasor. VL phasor, by the way, VL phasor is slightly bigger, and VC phasor. Why? Because see, VL voltage across inductor is 350, voltage across capacitor is 300. So this is all done. So this is your current phasor. This is VR, whose value we have found 50 √3. This is VC, whose value was given to be 300. And this was VL, whose value was given to be 350. Clear? This current also we have found its value to be √3 ampere, but I'm not writing. I can write. Now we have to add these three voltages. When you add these three voltages, you should be able to get the source voltage. So we can't add these three voltages directly in one step. First, we'll have to add these two voltages. So when you add these two voltages, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll copy this diagram. Is there some background noise you're hearing? Is there some background noise you are hearing today? Okay, no response. Okay, fine.
No, sir.
This will become, yeah, this will become actually VL minus VC, and this will become what? This will become 50 volts. Is that fine or not? Come on, 350 and 50, when you add, because they are in the opposite direction, they will eventually get subtracted, even though we are not subtracting, we are actually adding these two vectors. So this will be VL minus VC, and that will be 50 volts. And now when we add this phasor and this phasor, this one, these two. Okay, so when we add these two, we get this phasor. Okay, I'll have to change the color and thickness of this phasor because this one represents something else. Yeah, this one represents what? This one represents the source voltage. isn't it? Now this is the angle that is asking us to find the phase difference between this current phasor and this source voltage. So pretty easy in this diagram. We can directly say tan phi is equal to perpendicular by base in this triangle. This is perpendicular. This is base. Perpendicular is this only. So that's this one. That's 50. And this is 50 by root 3. Okay. So 50 by 50 root 3. That's okay. Just a second. I think there was a small glitch. Okay. So that's 1 by root 3. So from here you get phi as 30-degree angle. Isn't that? Any mistake? Okay, so we have been able to find phase difference between current and source. Now solve these other 4 parts. Come on, do it. At least now you can solve these other 4 parts. I have already done almost 90% of the problem. So solve it. Okay, let me solve it now. So we have found this current, we have found this voltage also. In fact, yeah, we have found now we have to find power delivered by AC source, power dissipated in the circuit. In fact, earlier we have already established that these two answers will actually be same. Okay, but however, we will not take it for granted. We will find these two individually using the 2 different formula. We know that it will be actually same, but we will not take it for granted. Then power factor. Well, yesterday only I explained what is power factor. It is cos phi factor. And wattless current also I explained yesterday. So let's do this now. Yeah. So now we are finding power delivered. Who delivers power? The AC source. Is there a formula for that? Yes, the formula is VI cos phi. In fact, here cos phi is called power factor. Here cos phi is called power factor. Okay, this cos phi. Anyway, so V is RMS source voltage, V source, okay, that is 100 volt. This is RMS current. RMS current, this current, have we found it? Of course we have found it. Root 3 ampere. And now cos phi, how will we find cos phi? Well, we know phi as 30 degrees, so cos 30 degree. Okay, so that's 100 into root 3 into root 3 by 2, because we know cos 30 degrees root 3 by 2. So it's 150 watt. Is that what you all got or not?
Yes, sir.
So that's power delivered by the AC source. Now power consumed. Who consumes power? Only resistor consumes power. Only resistor consumes power. So power consumed is I square R. I is root 3 ampere. And resistance is given to be 50 ohm. So that's it. We get again 150 watt. You see. Now what was the 4th one? Yeah, power factor. Okay, fine. Power factor means cos phi, which is root 3 by 2. Okay. So power factor. Power factor is simply cos phi. So cos 30 degree, which is root 3 by 2. Then 5th part, wattless current. Wattless current. Now here wattless, in order to find wattless current, there is no need of phasor diagram because we actually know a formula I sin phi. But I will still draw this phasor diagram because I want you to understand it. As such, you have already understood because yesterday I took a lot of time to explain this, but still So in this, I will delete this part. I will let only this main voltage and main current remain. Everything else is needless, is not needed here. Okay. So this is the current. This is the source voltage. Now here, in order to find wattless current, we actually resolve this current into two components. One component is along the voltage and one component is perpendicular to the voltage. So from the tip of this, we drop a perpendicular onto the voltage. So this will be one component and this will be the other component of current. This component will be I cos phi. Now this is not wattless current, rather it is wattful current. Because power is V into I cos phi. So this component of the current is taken into account in order to find power. So this component of the current is not wattless, rather it is wattful, even though actually there is no word like wattful. I have created that word. Anyway, so this current we have resolved, and this current I sin phi. Now this is the wattless component. So wattless component current is simply I sin phi. Now I could have directly applied this instead of showing this to you, because frankly, you know the formula, you can get the answer. But here I just showed it to you once more. Now this I we had calculated as √3, and sin phi means sin 30 degree. Isn't that? That's half. So it is again √3/2 ampere. That's the answer. Okay. So that's it. So much time I have taken. Now, one thing I have not yet taught you, that is, there is a quantity called Q factor. It is not an extremely important quantity, but still you should know. You never know, in exam they may ask what is the value of Q factor of the circuit. Q factor is also called quality factor. Okay. But we will not get too much into the meaning of this, because frankly, it's not needed at this moment. I will just tell you what this Q factor is all about. Okay. So consider an LCR circuit in resonance. Consider an LCR circuit in resonance. Okay. So I can draw that LCR circuit, but I want that LCR circuit to be in resonance. Okay. In resonance. So let me draw that LCR circuit. Oh my God, what happened? Okay, I decorated it once more. I wanted to highlight that fact. So here is R, C, L connected to the AC source. It is in resonance. Okay. Current I is there. Now, if you draw current versus, acha, by the way, this is, let's say voltage is V and angular frequency is omega. Normally we write voltage and frequency, but you can sometimes write angular frequency also, because see, angular frequency and frequency are frankly 99% same. Only a factor of 2 pi is there. Omega is 2 pi f. Okay, we have talked about it a lot, many times. Now, if we draw, okay, there is no need of drawing that. Fine. Q factor is defined as, the definition of Q factor is the voltage across capacitor or inductor in resonance divided by applied voltage. So voltage across capacitor or inductor in resonance, because only in resonance they will be equal, divided by divided by what? Divided by source voltage. So this is how we define Q factor, and now we can get the formula also. I will get the formula, but first let me put this inside this box. Okay. So see, I mean, voltage across capacitor and voltage across inductor, are they always same? No, they are not always same. They are same only in one case, that is when the circuit is in resonance. So here, if you look at the definition of Q factor, it says voltage across capacitor or inductor. That means any one of these two voltages. But then they will be different in general. So that's why they say in resonance and divided by this source voltage. Now in resonance, obviously VC and VL are equal. In resonance, obviously VC and VL are equal. So you can say Q factor is equal to VC or VL in resonance divided by applied voltage V. Now in resonance, I mean, what is VC? VC is I into XC. Okay, and this V is I into Z, or you can also say I into XL. Why am I writing both of them? Frankly, there is no need of that, because anyway these two are equal, because we are saying in resonance. Okay, so you get Q factor as, okay, I gets cancelled. So here I can write XC as 1 by omega C by Z. Z is R. Z is R. Seriously, is Z R? Is impedance R? How can I write that?
XL is equal to XC, sir.
Yeah. See, in general, impedance is not R, but we are talking about resonance. So in resonance, XL and XC cancel out each other. So either you use this or you use omega L by R. Obviously, the two will be same. In resonance, Z is equal to R. Now, one thing here, in place of any omega, I should put omega naught. You can't put any omega, because if you put any omega, then XC and XL will not be equal. Only when omega is omega naught, that means resonant angular frequency, only then these two will be equal. Okay. Now, do we know the value of omega naught? Of course, we know. We know the value of omega naught is 1 by root LC into R. Isn't that fine? Into C, sorry. Into C into R. 1 by omega naught C, this thing is in the denominator, and in place of omega naught, 1 by root LC. Okay. Or if you want to use this, omega naught is 1 by root LC into L divided by R. Clear? Fine. So if you cancel it like this, you get 1 by root C by L into R. You see, if you bring it, see, if you bring it inside root, it will become C square by LC. This C, I want to bring it inside root. One of the C will get cancelled out. So this, or now I'm writing both of them. I don't know why, because actually they are same. Here it will become root L by C and by R. As you can see, they are same. So you can say, yeah, root L by C into 1 by R. So this is your Q value. Okay, you may memorize it. Q value, no, sorry, not Q value, Q factor. You, if you want, you can memorize it and directly use it if in any question Q factor is asked. Is that fine? Or otherwise you can derive it if you remember this basic definition of Q factor. So basic definition of Q factor is either you take VC or VL, any one of them, because actually in resonance both of them will be same. So you take any one of them and divide that with the source voltage. And you will come to finally this result, and this is your Q factor. I hope that is fine with all of you. So here is the next question. Read it and start solving. What does it say? It says a series circuit consists of RLC. That means it is an LCR circuit. The applied voltage and current in the at any instant are as shown. So this is the applied voltage. Now see, instantaneous values are given. This is what? This is instantaneous values. Okay. V instantaneous is equal to V naught sine omega t plus phi. Here in place of sine they have given cosine, but we should not worry too much about it, because not only the voltage, this is instantaneous voltage and this is instantaneous current. Here in these books they have used capital letter, which is a big crime. You can't use capital letter for instantaneous values. Capital letter has to be used for RMS values. So sometimes, you know, the books commit big crime. It's a crime. Okay, but anyway, what can we do? We know that we will not do this crime. We will not use capital letter for instantaneous. Never, ever. Okay. So this is instantaneous voltage of the applied source. This is instantaneous current. Can you see that they have a phase difference? And can you tell me how much is the phase difference? Come on. How much is the phase difference?
360, sir.
Yes. See, both are cosine. Since both are cosine, so we don't have to try to convert it into sine. If one of them were sine and the other one was cosine, then we would have to convert both of them into sine or both of them into cosine. Only then you will come to know the phase difference. But here both of them are cosine. So this phase minus this phase, you will get the phase difference, which is 360 degree in this case. Okay. Now inductance is given. So in LCR circuit, R, L and C, but C, L is given. This you have to find and this you have to find. Come on, do it. You have 2 minutes to solve. Okay, let me solve it now. See, yeah. So let me draw that LCR circuit. Even though diagram is not important in this case, seriously, but still I will draw the diagram. So this is the source voltage. The value of inductance is given. So this inductance is given to be 0.01 Henry. Okay, capacitance is how much? And resistance is how much? We have to find. Now, instantaneous voltage is given as 141.4. And by the way, you know 141.4 is basically, I guess, 100 root 2, because root 2 is 1.41. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I will write this as, instead of writing 141.4, I will write this as 100 root 2. It's the same thing. And cosine omega t minus 10 degrees, where omega is given to be 5 1000 radian per second, because whatever is the coefficient of t, that is omega. And what is the instantaneous current? The instantaneous current is 5 and then cosine omega t minus 370 degree. Okay, what is the phase difference? What is the phase difference? Phase difference between current and voltage is 360 degrees. Can you see this minus this? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll rather write that. So it is omega t minus 370 degrees, or rather omega t minus 10 degrees. It doesn't matter which one you subtract from what. And that is 360 degrees. Now, will it be a very big news for you if I tell you that 360 degrees and 0 degree are exactly same thing? Will it be a very big news for you? Or will you be able to digest this? Come on, 360 degree and 0 degree are exactly same thing. Now, I can't say that with 0 degree and 180 degree. 180 degree and 0 degree are not same, because you know how angle is measured. This is our x-axis. We measure angle in this direction, in anti-clockwise direction. So when you come to this point, now this ray and this ray are not same. So obviously this angle 0 degree and this angle 180 degree are not same. But if you rotate yourself by exactly 360 degree, you reach at the same point. So 360 degree and 0 degree angle are literally same thing, literally same. So now tell me, what is the phase difference? There is no phase difference. I mean, seriously, was it such a difficult thing to understand? No phase difference. That means LCR circuit is in resonance. Is in resonance. Okay, this circuit is in resonance. How did we get it? How did we conclude that it is in resonance? Because if you look at the phase difference, it appears to be 360 degree, but 360 degree is literally 0 degree. So no phase difference. Okay, so now we know that this is in resonance. So we can say impedance. What is impedance? Impedance is simply R, because XL and XC cancels out. Because XL and XC cancels out. Okay, because the circuit is in resonance. So fine. So what will be the current? Or rather, yeah. So now what is current? Current is voltage by impedance. We all know that voltage by impedance. Okay. But here, can I use, see, normally we use RMS values, but can I use peak value also, or will it be a mistake if I use peak value here? I think we can use peak value also, because see, in this RMS value, if you multiply both sides with √2, you will get I into √2 as I naught and V into √2 as V naught. So we can use peak value also. Why I'm using peak value today? Because in this question, this is given to be peak value. This is what? This is peak voltage and this is peak current. Okay. So that is why. So now this I naught is given to be 5. Look at this. This is I naught, and V naught is given to be 100 √2, and impedance is R. Even though it is impedance, but it is R. So from here we get resistance as, you get it on this side divided by this. So you get what? 20 √2 ohm This is the resistance answer. Okay. Now, next thing is you have to find the value of capacitance also. Resistance we found, the value of inductance is given, we have to find capacitance. Don't forget that they are in resonance. Now that was the main thing. Actually, in this question, if it was given that the circuit is in resonance, everybody would have solved it. So it did not give directly that the circuit is in resonance. Rather, it gave the instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current, and then you had to look for yourself that the phase difference is 360 degree. 360 degree means 0 degree, so no phase difference, so the circuit is in resonance. So this particular thing was not given directly in the question. You had to come to this conclusion that the circuit is in resonance. Once you come to this conclusion, you know XL is equal to XC. So omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. Now we want to find C. So let's get C on this side. Do you understand it? What I'm doing? I got this C on that side and this thing on this side. Why? Because L was given and we wanted to find C. So 1 by omega square L. Now what is omega? What was omega? Look at this. The coefficient of T is omega. So that is 5000. And what is inductance? Inductance is 0.01 Henry. So this is 5000 square and this is 0.01, which I can write as 10 to the power minus 2 Henry. Okay, so I will write this as 1 by 25, and over here I will write 10 to the power minus 6 and minus 2, because here you have 3 zeros. So 10 to the power 3 square, so 10 to the power 6, and bring it in the numerator, so 10 to the power minus 6, and this will become plus 2, sorry, not minus 2. When this goes top, it becomes plus 2. So you have this much, and this will be in farad now, because this is capacitance. And now you have to just do a little calculation. Here you can say 100 by 25. 100 by 25, 100 by 25 is 4. So 4 microfarad is the answer. Okay, I hope you all agree with this. Yeah, just do a little calculation. 100 into 10 power minus 6. Okay, in fact, because I'm writing it this way, so there was no need to write, sorry, because I'm writing it this way, so there was no need to write it like this. I could have written 100 into this thing. I could have brought it over there, and I would have, yeah, it's the same thing. So you get your answer, and that's it. Now tomorrow we will solve some complicated questions, advanced level questions. Okay, where we will see that we will see what happens when the circuits, these are series, these LCR are not in series. As of now, we have studied only in series. So tomorrow we will study more complicated circuits. But remember that those complicated questions don't come in the exam. Okay.